What is going on, everybody? McLaren's Beach Out World Champion coming at you, and we're back with our boy Law in a build I'm calling the Shambles build, using Law's power as leader ability as much as possible. With this build is the game plan. So what I mean by that is, depending on the board state, the game state, using 7C Law, for example, you play him down, refill. If you use the leader ability at that turn, it's fine. But then the following turn, attacking with Law, then using leader ability, bouncing him back, and then playing him again, and then just refilling life, and then just rinse and repeat as needed. Again, depending on what the board state is. But not only just for that idea, the reason again I have Zoro in here is because we can use similar strat on Zoro. Also with 5C Law, Zoro has a fun combo, being able to drop our blocker down, bounce something, potentially bouncing Zoro back, and then replaying Zoro, attacking with him again, especially against those like aggro decks is very strong. Same idea with Killer around like 5C Law or leader ability, bouncing this back, replaying to get kind of like some kind of board control. So that's my idea with these here. Hody, I think, is very, very important. Probably in the future will be increasing to potentially 4, I feel like, especially once we get to like OP11. And with the rise of purple, with Gum Gum Giant, being able to rest the Don, so your opponent can't play counter cards, is like super, super strong. So I think Hody will be very valuable there. But also to Bonney, using leader ability. If you need to, bouncing Bonney back, replaying Bonney, same kind of thing. Freezing a Don so your opponent can't drop like their crazy boss drops and stuff like that, I think is also very strong. But yeah, this theme, just trying to play around Laws, like actual like abilities and stuff. And yeah, bouncing things to the board. You kind of want to see the board as like an extension of your hand, which makes it tricky. But if you do not have the stuff in hand to get things going, even though it's not as cost effective, but bouncing something back from your hand and replaying just to get the ability is also just can be equally effective later on in the game. So yeah, kind of opening up the field a little bit so you can mess around. And yeah, it's definitely a little bit tricky to get used to. Again, this deck is like super hard and very punishing. You make a mistake, you just kind of lose. So, but the more time you put in, the better things are going to go. And I think as the year goes, especially again, once the OP11 gets here and we get our man Capone, I think we're going to be very, very good. And then also as the year goes, I think we'll be getting some more support and stuff like that. So I think Law will be in a great spot and just continually progressing as the year goes. So I'm very excited about that. And then, yeah, we'll jump to some games and see if I can show you what I mean. All right, we got Zoro here. We're going to go second just so I can see if we can try to do some combos here. This is definitely not it. All right, this is better. We got Caramel and Bonney and Cavendish. So we can hit our ultimate like high roll here. And we got some Capones for some defense. So we're pretty much just kind of seeing what they get going and set up. And we grab the 7C Law, so that'll be very clutch for us later on. Honestly, I need a search. If we can get a search going that I can like recycle, then that'll put us in a great spot, especially if I can find either Zoro or Killer. So they're attacking here. I'm gonna block this out, and then I guess we'll do we'll sack one Capone here, because all right, never mind, they're dropping Zoro, so okay, I guess we'll take that. And when we get our Zoro, yeah, that puts us in a tight spot here. So I'll do this. Guess we'll get rid of Bonney. All right. So we'll see what happens. Well, I have both of these. I do have this. I want to drop for 3. But all right, we'll attack them here. See what they do. Just try to get a card out, and then we'll still. Okay, they do that. All right. Use card action. Do that there. Throw this here. I'll put this here. I'm kind of tempted to, because what do I got next turn? I might just bounce this back. Or I guess I do have a bunch of 2Ks, so I could kind of block out. So never mind. Let's just do this here, do this. And then we'll attack him 6 on 5. All right, get a 2K. I'm fine with that. And then I'll drop this down again so we get another card. Still looking for a search, but for the time being, recycling Caramel will work. And then, yeah, huge for us to clear their board, though. I'm fine with that. And then, all right, they're dropping Zoro again here. So we'll see what they do with both of these. So 6 on 5. I'll go no because we can. So I'll block that there. And then, yeah, this will put us on the edge, but I'm fine with doing that. Because they're leaving one up, so I assume they have some kind of something there. But we can kind of do same deal here. Ooh, okay, this is massive for us there. Okay, I can now make a very fun Zoro play. So, we'll attack them here. 6 on 5. Oh, okay, so they have that. They got this stinky event, so they take that, but they whiff on the on play here. So that's pretty big for us there, I would say. And so we got this. All right, I'll put one on here then. We will attack them 6 on 5. Okay, so if we hand starve them out, that's pretty much the game plan against Zoro, is that you have to hand starve them out before we can chip away at their life. Because they have so much like silly stuff. But I can do this then, play this, use card action, bounce this back, replay Zoro again here. And then now we can attack him again 6 on 5. So this is like our little fun combo that we can do. And go from there. And then outside of that, we could drop this again, but I kind of like our board right now. So I'll put another one on here, and then we'll attack him 7 on 5. And then obviously we can refill. We can get Law going next turn maybe, but mostly depends on Operation Get Rid of this guy right here. So, but with our blocker wall set up, I'm fine with like sacking some stuff here. Because again, if we can just board wipe them away, we're kind of good. So interesting that, all right, they didn't put a Don on Zoro, so I wonder if what the plan is here. I'm just gonna get after they do all this, just the block here, and then if I need to, we can sack a Bonney, because again I can refill here. So we'll just do that, get the free block there, so we don't have to worry about too much stuff here. And then obviously they do have this, so 7 on 5 there. I'll block this 1 so I can get some room here. And then we'll see what they do. If they attack any of our board here, I'll sack this Bonney. Okay, I'm okay with that. We're playing fast and loose with it. So drop this down, put this back here, put this here. All right, so this is at 4. All right, let me attack this 6 on 4. So I can get our down back there. We'll put 2 on here. I'll attack this 7 on 5. He's gonna be a blocker, so I don't really care about this too much. And then, all right, they're taking that there, so I'll put both of these on here. We'll attack them here. 7 on 6. Assume get something out of their hand. But now that we have Law set up, I can now just do, again, the other thing I've been doing against Zoro is use Law, attack, bounce Law back, and then refill a life. So as long as you have blockers like established on the board, you can kind of do it. So they have both of these here. Do I want to make a risky play and just attack again here? Try to get something else out of their hand. You know what? Why not? We get them down low. And okay, if not, we get massive info that these 2 cards are bricks. So that's big for us there. And then again, now we can kind of establish and set some stuff up here. So well, they're dropping Kid and Killer. Okay, so I'm assuming this is either a vent or another rush guy with them leaving this. So I don't know if it's going to be another Kid and Killer or it's a Gum Gum Mole. Okay. All right, well, I wasn't expecting that, but okay. Well, this is going to be at 8, so we'll go no here, and then I can do this. So we'll see what they do. Again, though, we got the Law spin cycle going, so if I was losing this here. So again, now I can do this. We get rid of that there, okay, and then we can bounce this back. So we got a Cavendish there. I need 7 for that. They'll give me 1 on that. So, yeah, we can do this here. Again, put 1 here. We get another one here. I'll put the 2 here. We'll attack them 7 on 5. They can't block here. Then now we can do another 7 on 5 here. Keep this up. Keep both of those there. All right. So this is like, again, the super brutal combo. If you can get it set up, you need a blocker or 2 to get things kind of figured out here. But if you can bounce this law back, attack, bounce them back, slowly refill your life back up. Because again, they just beat us in the early game aggression. So if you're able to withstand that early game, wipe their board, you can build it back up, and then it goes from there. So, and then that's how it goes. And you're able to keep going from there to kind of build everything back together. But yeah, also too, you can use law to heal, so you don't have to use leader to bounce something back. So able to keep on doing that, and then yeah, we are just pretty much, I can keep the cycle going over and over again. Let me answer this question real quick. So there we go there. Sorry for the slow typing. So okay, they have this chopper. What does this guy do? Okay, they're attacking here. I mean, I think I can just go for the game. So I could just do this here, and then we do this and this here. So we can put all that together, and then yeah, I'll attack them here. So they block that there. Okay. Put 4 here. We'll attack him 9 on 5. See what they do. Because I don't know if this is going to be like, yeah, rad beam or something. Oh, okay. Well. We're, yeah, kind of chilling there. And then, yeah, nothing else they can do here. So there we go. Oh yeah, no, the 7C cycle or 7 law like spin cycle is super brutal, but you need to get blockers and stuff set up to be able to pull this off. But also again, Zoro or Killer massive in the matchup as well. All right, we got some Bonney here. I'm gonna take first, see if we can just go super aggressive. And we do have our search and we have 7C law, so I'll roll with this. So we can drop this down, search next turn. And then still apply some pressure. And then we'll see what they get going as well. But yeah, we have Caramel. They're dropping Rosinante down. Okay. And then, alright, we huge get Cavendish here. So that means I could play. Grab Capone. Alrighty. And then we'll attack them here. And then I'll drop Caramel down as well. And then next turn we can go Cav, Capone. And then ideally if we can get another 5 cost, then we'll be in a pretty decent spot, I think. So, okay, we get another search. Be good for later on. Because, yeah, I assume they're going to attack here. Which I'm fine with there. And then they're dropping down to Shigi. Okay, and then huge we get Bonney, which is nice. So, alright, how do I go about all this? Because I could just swing attack here so they can't rest any of our fun stuff. But I'm assuming if they load it up, we'd be fine anyways. So, yeah, let's just do regular game plan here. Do this here. Attack them at 6 on 5, see what they do. And then with them setting this up, I'm assuming they're going to drop one of their 5s next turn. So we do this. We'll freeze Don here. As long as it's not, I guess, Cav or Smoker, then we'll be able to get a Don back. So with them resting, if they have Carrot, though, they can freeze Cavendish. So regardless, something's getting, like, there's not much we can do if they do have a 5 drop here. There's not a whole lot we can get set up, unfortunately. But I can go into our 7C law, and then we can see what happens there. Okay, they're investing a bunch there. If I had one more 2K. But I could go 7, 8 here. All right, you know what? Why not? We will. We'll go this, this, and this. Make a large commitment for our stuff here, and then I don't have anything to summon out with 7 Sea Law, unfortunately. But we can put Killer here, so we can at least get Killer to play. We'll attack them 6 on 5. The rest in Bonney. Okay. And then, yeah, we'll see what they do there. So I get a 2k out. Okay, cool. Then we'll put one more on here. Attack him there already. Drop this down. All these options, they have Cav. Because if they attack this next turn, there's not a whole lot I can do. I might grab this so I can rest this and then get this out of here so they can't like wall up with Kid later. But yeah, we'll see what they got. And kind of go from there. But yeah, next turn if I can drop this, then we're kind of chilling. Because we at least have definite board control. Okay, they're dropping another Rosinante down. Alrighty. Because I could also take the opportunity as well to bounce this back. So, alright, nothing to do about that. At least free up some space here. So I do all of this stuff. So, how do I go about this? Because I could refill our life again. I think we just get the spin cycle here going with Law. And we'll just try to keep getting our life up, because if I can play around with our stuff there, then we're kind of chilling. So, alright, I can do this here, and then it'll work out just enough for us to go from there. So, I'll bounce this back, go 0 on that, and then we can drop this down. I'll rest this one here, attack them here. So we get at least one of them out of the way. Drop this down, refill again, put another one on here, attack him again here. So, okay, so we clear the board on that. Alright, so that's pretty big for us there. And then, yeah, I might just, depending on, again, what we get, we know this is a restand Law, so maybe make a play around this, but I might just, again, keep trying to chip them down with Law, and that way we can avoid their free stuff and just keep refilling our life here. So, we'll see what they do. Okay, they're attacking Caramel. Totally fine with that. I guess, worried about, I don't know if they're going to set something else up here. But if they play anything big, like Doflamingo, obviously they only can freeze here and here. So, and then they wouldn't be able to do anything there. I can then bounce this back. We get our restand and go from there. Or they're dropping Shanks. Okay. Well, I got this and this. I don't really have... I mean, unless I made that play, but I would still have to... I wouldn't have enough Dawn. So I put the 3 on here, attack. Goes there. So they're going to rest here. But, alright, we'll just keep doing the same deal then. Because I'll bounce this back. We'll play the restand Law. Just to get a body on the board. And then we can just kind of do that. So I'll bounce this back. We can just play this there. And then I'll replay this. We'll put another one here. And then, yeah, I can put this here. But can't really do too much about it. But we'll just do that. Get some bodies on the board here. Up to 5 life. Which is very, very nice. And then, yeah, we'll see what we can do. We got them on a 1. Alright, so now they're dropping Kid. And then throwing down a Tashigi. I mean, I'm okay with that. So I can just kind of like load up. And then, yeah, we can kind of do our stuff here. So, I don't need Killer. If they, because they don't have anything rested. So, okay with that. I'm at 3 life. We have a search here as well. So, if I attack this with, I guess we'll put 5 on here, attack them here. They have all this stuff here, pressure them there. Unless I wanted to put... I wanted to recycle this again, but I don't think we really need to at this point. So, alright, let me put this on here then. We'll attack them 14 on 8. Because they'd have to get rid of... They don't have a blocker, so that's big info for us there. And then, yeah, they'd have to get rid of, like, their entire hand here. And then I can still attack 2 8s at least. And go from there. And then we've got a 2K and some stuff here. So we'll see yeah, what they do. Because yeah, this would these would all have to be 2Ks plus something else. And then we know they don't have any blockers. So okay, they get rid of event with event. Alright. So there's 2 cards. Got another event, okay. And then do that there, alrighty. Honestly, I think I just put the 5 on here, attack him again. Do this. Alright, we're able to get rid of that there. Do this here. Play this out, that works. Freeze their shanks there. Okay. So, lovely when you hit there. But again, we got ourselves back up to that 5 life, so we can afford to mess around with stuff. And then obviously them missing that 1 turn again in this meta, I feel like if anybody misses just like 1 turn where they can't play something cool, they just kind of lose. And yeah, we were able to take advantage of that, which is very nice for us there. And then yeah, we can block this here. Well, based on the info that we had last time, I mean, mathematically there's nothing they can do either way, so it doesn't really matter. Because we can go 9, they have the 2 cards, they get 1 more, and then yeah, then we can finish them. Again, you just need 11 for that. But based on the info we had for getting rid of Kid, it seems like it would have hit anyways. But yeah, there you go. If you're able to get it set up, again, bouncing Law back and just refilling your life for that added defense, and then again playing around, trying to play around their effects and stuff, whether it's like yeah, the shanks or them freezing, stuff like that is very, very helpful. But again, it is very hard. Still, you still have to like get it set up. But all we need though, again, against anybody, is that 1 turn where they miss like their optimal play, and then we're able to take advantage of it. So that's what happened for us there, and yeah, glad it worked out. All right, we got some smoker here. We can take first because they like going first. Don't have a search, so we'll mulligan out, see if we can find something. And then all right, we do get Bonney. I get Zoro as well here, and then we have Cav, so we can ideally search for Capone to play Cavendish out, and then potentially Zoro, a combo if we want to rush them. Go from there. I do like that we have Radio Knife, so that's cool. And then alright, this is fine with me as well. Alright, very unfortunate that we don't get any of our stuff that we need to swap things out. Do we want to go Bonney or do we want to go a search here? Because we have this. I guess we'll go a search because I'm going to need to try to find 7C Law then instead. And then we drop this down and then still grab Capone for next turn. Alright, and then we'll attack them here. And then, yeah, we still need 7C Law to pull off our best curve here. If we don't get him, makes things a little tough just to take advantage of it. But depending, I guess, what they drop next turn, if we don't get him, I do have Radio Knife, so we could play around that as well. And then, okay, they're attacking me, so they're leaving Bonney up. So they didn't have anything to drop there, which is huge. So their play here is Sanji, I believe, like the 3C, and then they can put the 1 on and then restand 2 Don. But they don't have Sanji there, so I am fine with that. Take a life here. And then, yeah, with her stuff, I think I might just go Zoro then. And then I can put this here. Or turn this, do this. And then I can drop down Zoro, attack them 5. And then attack them 6. So. And then we still have Bonney chilling. again, depending on what they drop. Because now they can't drop. If they drop a 5 cost like Smoker, we have our one and only radio knife to be able to make the play there. All right, they sack a 2K off the 5. So I'm assuming, okay, never mind. They just have a bunch of 2Ks in hand. This is one thing I got to take the time to learn as well, is just how many 2Ks all the other like somewhat top leaders run. Because I feel like that is something I personally been struggling with, because I don't exactly know the number and when to like get kind of like figure out when to attack board versus their life to get things down. So, but yeah, we'll see what happens. They're restanding their Don because again they got Smoker here and loading up there, attacking Zoro here. Fine with that. Again, Zoro did his job. I got a card out, and then yeah, we can eliminate this. We can search. We can attack with Cavendish, get some Don back, and then yeah, kind of go from there. Because I also have the 5C law, so we can mess around with getting some defense set up. But yeah, this card, the reason why I'm back kind of in on it is just becomes, I feel like, pretty important, at least with the build I'm running right now with these 3 costs. So you can push the pace like either way. But all right, it'll do that. Get that out of here. Let's attack them 6 on 5. And then I can drop this down, bounce this back, play out Bonney, use Bonney's ability, and then depending on what this is, put our other 5C law here. So we can get some things set up, and then yeah, next turn we'll just see what I don't know what they're gonna have here, but we at least make it so, I mean, if they drop Kid, they drop Kid. But we can at least play around with them only having Kid and whatever versus them having Smoker up as well. So alright, they take the hit there. I'll attack him here. 5 on 5. We get something else out. Okay, we'll do this. Use card action. Bounce this back. Play this out. Use our card action. Take the top life, which is Bonney. Okay, yeah, that's pretty decent. But I'll put this here for now, and then we'll do that. Because if I don't get something going, I might just, if they drop Kid here, I might just play Bonney and freeze Kid. Okay, so they're playing Smoker again. I'm kind of alright with that. So I can kind of, okay, and Carrot. Okay. I feel like I can just kind of go for some stuff here then. We'll do this and then block here. Because I also have this. Again, where I could bounce something back. Kind of go from there. But no, we'll see what we're able to do. Again, Carrot, an annoying card. So that's why I might bounce this back and replay it. But we'll see. Depends what we can do here. So might be able to just kind of, again, knock him down and try to go for it. But we'll see. Alright, so they do that. So I'm here. Don't really have too much. We can do this here. If I had a Hody, it'd be a great play for right now. But unfortunately, we miss on him. So I guess we'll grab this here. I mean, I'm kind of tempted to bounce this back to play this out, and then I could bounce this back, play our search for something else. This will allow me to try to pressure them a little bit, and then kind of go from there. Because I don't really need anything too crazy on the board right now. So we get this out. You can attack there, replay this, get done to attack him there. Alright, so I'll put the one on here. We'll attack him 7 on 5. Because if they don't have Kid, we win next turn. If I do have Kid, then this makes things a little tough. So we'll do this, play this, use card action, bounce this back, play this here. I do have Zoro. Do I want another 2K? Or another blocker, because in case they have Hody. I guess we can do that. Let me put this on here and attack them here. And then if they take this, I might just go for it, honestly. I might just throw these on here, and then why not? Because I do have like a lot of counter in hand. So we'll just see what they do. So, yeah, Hody might be able to play around because we can take one, have the 2Ks to block one. It would be close. It would just come down to the math. Okay, so they're doing all that. Then, yeah, I think I attack them here because even if they set up whatever. Oh, okay, they took off. All right, well, it would have worked. So cool. But, yeah, playing around either Kid, I guess they had both, so it looks like they probably would have went to Hody since they had nothing else in hand. But yeah, I was going to load up there, attack them with Bonney since this hit, and then yeah, if they would have blocked out and it didn't hit, then we would have gone, I would have dropped this Bonney for defense just in case of Hody. But good news was, like, even if they had the stuff to block out and they had Kid, we would have got rid of like everything in their hand. So even if they played Kid, then the next turn we should have been able to get rid of Kid and then still go for it. So worked out for us there, and yeah, we'll take it.